I have never seen such a strange zombie. He didn't eat humans, but only cabbages. That day, he wanted to change his taste, so he rushed towards a girl. The result was, the outside world was too dangerous. Zombie hid in the toilet, but was discovered by Mr. Park. Mr. Park saw toilet paper all over the ground. He immediately considered the zombie as a pervert. So he hit the zombie with a plunger. He panicked, grabbed Mr. Park's head, and took a bite. After that, he ran away. In the evening, Mr. Park's family heard rustle in the warehouse, so they went to check. They found out someone steal their cabbages. Mr. Park recognized him immediately. Without hesitation, he took a shovel and hit over Zombie's head. His eldest son also did a jump kick. Unexpectedly, he kicked him on the wall, and was pierced by an iron stake. They thought he was dead and started blaming each other. But he started to move. They were too scared to run away fast. His middle son was knowledgeable. He was aware that maybe zombies were not human beings. After watching a movie about zombies, they realized the problem. Mr. Park's children stood in front of him. His daughter-in-law hit over his head with a pan. Mr. Park passed away very peacefully. When getting home, his middle son quickly searched on the internet. What to do if bitten by a zombie. Then he stayed up all night to write a book of zombie. However, Mr. Park not only didn't turn into a zombie, but he was younger and younger. Even when going to the toilet, he also attracted other old men. The old men in the village were admired. They also wanted to regain their youthful glory. Mr. Park suddenly realized that it could be thanks to the zombie. When he arrived home, his friend begged him for help, and also invited him to vacation in Hawaii. He agreed. However, his friend went and opened his big mouth. He led many men to Mr. Park's house. Mr. Park suddenly realized that he was going to get rich. But when he led people to the warehouse, he discovered the zombie wasn't there. It turned out that his middle son kidnapped the zombie after knowing his magic. He was going to sell the zombie at a high price. Unluckily, on the way, he was stopped. The police discovered that the zombie was hidden in the trunk. So he was taken to the police station. He said the boy was actually a zombie. Of course, the police didn't believe it. At that time, Mr. Park came there and lied that the zombie was his son. To solve the problem simply. At night, everyone discussed how to make money. Then his daughter found out that the zombie's teeth were gone. It turned out that to prevent him from biting, his daughter-in-law extracted all of his teeth. Mr. Park was very worried, but he quickly thought of a way. He gathered the men in one place, then told them to put their arm in this hole and get bitten. But they were quite scared. A bald-head man did first. Without any words, he put his hand in the hole. The daughter-in-law stayed indoors to squirt ketchup on their arm. Then the zombie took a bite. A zombie appeared in the village. People didn't like it, but they spent money to get bitten by him. Because after he bit them, they would be younger and stronger. Normally, even walking made them tired, but now they were as strong as a horse. They lifted up the cart easily. We did it. Men in the neighboring village admired them. They instantly took their farming stuff and ran to Mr. Park's house. But at that time, his sister-in-law found out that the money she saved had disappeared. There was only one Hawaii tourist leaflet. Mr. Park himself stole the money to travel in Hawaii. When these men came to their house, that made Mr. Park's family bewildered. They thought those men went to their house to get their money back. The whole family rushed to go upstairs to hide. But unexpectedly, they came to be healthier like Mr. Park. Luckily, his middle son quickly seized the chance. He shouted to everyone to line up. The Park family's business began. Elderly people within 10 kilometers also drove to their house. The zombie bit humans every day. He was sick to death of biting them, so they squirted ketchup to change his taste. They first collected money outdoors. After being biting, they were served antiseptic. They assigned work extremely flexibly and professionally. The zombie's remuneration was also better. He had his own room. Even he was led to the town to get his hair cut and buy new clothes. Indeed, if he only tried hard, he would be rewarded one day. Gradually, the whole family accepted him. Who cared about him the most was the last-born daughter. But the good days didn't last long. The middle son had his own plan to sell the zombie. But his whole plan was overheard by his sister. She didn't heartlessly turn the zombie into a money machine. So early the next morning, she headed to a forest with him. And left him there. The middle son didn't see him. He looked for him in the whole village. Finally, he also met him in the forest behind the village. He still stood in place stupidly to wait for the daughter. Unexpectedly, the person coming was the middle son. He was going to bring the zombie to the city by bus. But before departing, he was scared of the scene in front of him. In a wedding, people thought the groom kissed the bride. But he bit into her neck to death. Not only the groom, all people attending the wedding turned into zombies. The zombie pandemic quickly broke out. A peaceful small town became a hell. The middle son hid under the car to get out of danger. However, staying like this wasn't the good way. He used ringtone to distract them from him, and then escaped. A group of zombies surrounded the gas station. In the house, the other three quickly blocked the door, and then went upstairs. But even so, they could still be attacked. At that time, their sister found out her middle brother's book. After a while of researching, they fully equipped and were ready to fight. Their sister-in-law suddenly had a stomach ache and screamed. She was about to give birth. When hearing the scream, zombies rushed to the second floor. The three escaped through the window, and then crawled on the warehouse roof. A bunch of zombies below were waiting for them to fall down. Right then and there, the middle brother drove back with many weapons. However, perhaps, only he could think of letting off fireworks at the gas station. Unexpectedly, this caused the other fireworks boxes in the car to set off. More and more zombies gathered at the gas station. At that time, their sister-in-law couldn't endure anymore. The two brothers suddenly came up with an idea of camouflage, and pretending to be a zombie to get in the car. However, the zombies quickly recognized the both. The two in the car were surrounded by zombies. Their sister felt that the situation was not good. She fought zombies off her own bat. When she was on the point of being swallowed up, the zombie boy suddenly appeared to save her. At that time, a zombie accidentally damaged the power supply. All lights and music turned on. The gas station turned into a nightclub. All zombies danced together. Zombies were attracted to the light. Both brothers promptly started the car and drove away. The zombie alone stopped these zombies at the gas station to help them escape. As seeing the youngest sister fade away, he suddenly whispered her name. Zombies were unable to talk. So in the blink of an eye, the zombies fell on top of him. He lit a lighter to blow up the gas station. The next day, Mr. Park happily returned home and met his children. He was the first to be bitten, but he was still okay. It turned out that Mr. Park was immune to zombies. 6 months later, the whole city was engulfed in the disaster. Mr. Park's rescue truck was the last hope. Mr. Park became a vaccination machine. In the car he bit a zombie so that they became humans. 189. Title: An old man was capable of turning zombies into human.